Tamar Braxton thought she was walking into Love and Hip Hop Atlanta as the new queen of drama, but instead, she's found herself at the center of the biggest scandal the franchise has seen in years. Overnight, shocking leaks, messy accusations, and whispers of betrayal have left Tamar completely exposed. And now the very cast members she thought she could charm are turning on her one by one. From Rasheeda's icy clapbacks to Yandy's emotional breakdown and even Mendeezy's threatening to walk. The tension is boiling over like never before. But here's the twist. Insiders claim Tamar isn't just facing backlash for her behavior on set. There's a deeper secret, one so explosive it could destroy her reputation and fracture the cast beyond repair. What did Tamar really do? Why is everyone suddenly against her? And will this scandal end her love and hip-hop journey before it even begins? At first, Tamar Braxton's arrival on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta was seen as a major win for the franchise. She wasn't just another cast member, she was a household name, a Grammy-nominated singer, and someone with her own fan base large enough to boost ratings instantly. The producers rolled out the red carpet. Insiders whispered about her special treatment, and Tamar herself seemed ready to step into the spotlight like never before. But within weeks, the whispers started. Fans noticed something was off. In the first few group scenes, Tamar seemed distant, almost too polished for the gritty reality the show was known for. She avoided messy confrontations, barely interacted with some of the OGs like Rasheeda and Carly Red, and often slipped away before filming wrapped. On social media, people began asking the same question. Was Tamar too good for Love and Hip Hop? Or hiding something? Behind the scenes, the tension was even worse. Multiple insiders claimed Tamar was clashing with producers almost daily. She reportedly refused to film certain storylines, calling them beneath her, and allegedly demanded final approval over how she would be edited. For a show built on raw chaos, this was a red flag. Tamar came in thinking she was the star, one source revealed. But the truth is, Love and Hip Hop already had its queens. Rasheeda, Yandy, Spice. They didn't appreciate someone trying to rewrite the rules. Things reached a breaking point during a cast dinner, scene that was supposed to be lighthearted. Producers had planned for a playful argument over music royalties, but instead it turned into the first real eruption. When Rasheeda mentioned that Tamar hadn't been around long enough to understand the struggles of balancing music and reality TV, Tamar snapped back. "Sweetheart, I've been in this game longer than you've been relevant." The table fell silent. Cameras caught Yandy's shocked expression, Mendeezy's raising his eyebrows, and Spice muttering under her breath. Fans watching the unedited leak of the scene later went wild, calling it Tamar's first major misstep. On Twitter, hashtags like #TAMARShade and #NotTheQueen started trending within hours. But Rasheeda wasn't done. A few days later, she went live on Instagram and, without naming names, dropped a cryptic message. Some folks come on this platform thinking they bigger than the culture. Baby, you ain't. Fans instantly connected the dots. Tamar had poked the wrong bear. From there, things snowballed. Tamar reportedly refused to film with Rasheeda after that dinner, demanding solo scenes instead. Producers scrambled, but the rest of the cast began uniting against her. Yandy allegedly told crew members she was done walking on eggshells, while Spice started throwing shade in her performances, remixing one of her songs to include the line, "Don't come in here acting Hollywood." By the time filming wrapped for that week, the atmosphere was toxic. Crew members described the set as split down the middle, with Tamar and a handful of producers on one side and the entire OG cast on the other. It felt like a mutiny brewing, one insider whispered. Tamar wanted control, but Love and Hip Hop thrives on mess you can't control. That's where everything unraveled. And just when fans thought it was all for show, something happened off camera that changed everything. A leaked group chat between cast members surfaced online. In the screenshots, Rasheeda, Yandy, and Spice could be seen venting about Tamar. Rasheeda allegedly wrote she'd think this her show. "Nah, we built this." Yandy added, "She don't respect nobody, not even the crew." And Spice ended it with a simple but scathing line. Her days here are numbered. The screenshots went viral. Blogs ate it up. Fans flooded Tamar's comments with snake emojis, accusing her of being the diva that finally broke the cast. Tamar tried to clap back, tweeting, "Don't believe the hype. People always mad when you shine too bright." But the damage was done, because behind the curtain, the cast wasn't just mad at Tamar's attitude. Rumors were swirling about a secret, something Tamar had done off-set that was about to come crashing into the public eye. Something so big, it wasn't just about drama anymore. It was about betrayal. And when that secret finally dropped, it would flip love and hip-hop, Atlanta, upside down, forever. The drama surrounding Tamar had already hit boiling point after the leaked group chat. But what happened next took everything from petty shade to all-out chaos. Up until this point, most fans assumed Tamar's downfall was just about attitude her diva demands. Her refusal to play along with the messy antics, her open shots at Rasheeda. But insiders knew there was more bubbling beneath the surface. A scandal was brewing. It all started with whispers of a secret messages leak. According to one insider, Tamar had been privately texting a high-ranking producer about manipulating storylines in her favor. Screenshots allegedly showed her requesting that certain cast members, Rasheeda, Yandy, and even Spice be portrayed as irrelevant drama chasers, while her own scenes would highlight her as the next chapter of love and hip-hop. In other words, Tamar was trying to rebrand the show around herself. At first, fans didn't know whether to believe it. But then, a shady gossip blog dropped blurred screenshots of the alleged texts. One of them appeared to read, "Cut Yandy's scenes shorter. Nobody cares about her crying over Mendices again. Focus on my performance segment." Another read, "I'm not filming with Rasheeda unless it's about her businesses. Music is my lane, not hers." The internet exploded. Tamar trying to sabotage the OGs. One fan tweeted. Another wrote, "She came in with a knife for the very women who built the show. The hashtags #TAMA are exposed and #NotMyQueen shot to the top of trending lists." The fallout on set was immediate. Rasheeda allegedly confronted Tamar directly during a private shoot. Crew members described it as one of the tensest moments in love and hip-hop history. Rasheeda looked her straight in the eye and said, "So you really think you're going to erase me from my own show?" Tamar tried to deny the leaks, but Rasheeda wasn't having it. "I've survived more scandals than you can count, baby. And trust me, this one ain't gonna end how you think." Meanwhile, Yandy was devastated. She reportedly told producers she felt betrayed to the core. After years of defending herself against accusations of being fake or manufactured, the idea that Tamar, someone she thought she respected, was trying to cut her out hit hard. Insiders say Yandy broke down in tears on set, calling the situation a knife in the back. Spice, on the other hand, wasn't emotional. She was furious. At her next live performance, she stopped mid-show, turned to the crowd, and shouted, "Don't ever let nobody tell you you don't belong, especially some newcomer trying to erase your history." Fans screamed, instantly clocking the reference. Clips of that moment went viral within minutes. Spice had officially joined the war. But the scandal didn't just stay contained to the cast, it spread like wildfire across the industry. Other celebrities started weighing in. Michelle tweeted a cryptic message. "Funny how the ones who scream real, the loudest, be the fakest behind the scenes." Fans immediately tied it to Tamar. Even Cardi B, who rarely comments on love and hip-hop anymore, posted a laughing emoji under a shady meme that read, "When the new girl thinks she running the show but ends up running herself out. Tamar tried to do damage control. She went live on Instagram, wearing sunglasses indoors, her voice calm but defensive. Y'all really believe fake screenshots? Y'all really think Tamar Braxton gotta beg anybody for camera time? Baby, I am the camera time." She smirked, sipping from a wine glass. "Keep talking, 'cause guess what? That means I'm the headline." But her attempt at flipping the narrative only made things worse. Fans flooded her comments with accusations. Deflection by Ling. So you didn't deny it, though. This is giving guilty energy. Within hours, the live had been clipped, memmed, and roasted across every platform, and while Tamar was busy defending herself online. The cast was busy plotting their next move. Rasheeda, Yandy, and Spice, three women who rarely agreed on anything, suddenly found themselves united. According to insiders, they began discussing a joint sit-down with producers, threatening to walk if Tamar continued being protected. Either she goes, Spice reportedly said, or the rest of us do. That ultimatum sent shockwaves through production. Losing one star was one thing, but losing three OGs at once, that could tank the entire show. Insiders whispered that Mona Scott herself got involved, holding emergency calls to figure out how to keep the season from collapsing. But before any decision could be made, the biggest twist yet dropped. An anonymous insider leaked an unedited clip from a recent filming day. In it, Tamar was caught on a hot mic trashing the entire cast. "These girls are amateurs," she allegedly said. "I've been on real stages. This show is just a paycheck for me." The clip hit the blogs like a bomb. Fans couldn't believe what they were hearing. Tamar wasn't just clashing with the cast, she was disrespecting the entire franchise. The backlash was brutal. Memes dragged her, blogs tore her apart, and hashtags like #fire, TAMAR, and #respect. The OGS dominated timelines, and as the scandal grew louder, one thing became clear. Tamar Braxton hadn't just stumbled into a feud. She had ignited a war that threatened not just her spot on the show, but her entire reputation. And the OGs, they weren't about to let her win by the time the hot mic clip spread across social media. Tamar's reputation was crumbling in real time. She had entered Love and Hip Hop Atlanta as a star, polished, untouchable, and positioned as the cast member who could take the franchise mainstream again. But now, she was becoming the villain of her own story. The blogs wouldn't let up. Hollywood Unlocked posted the hot mic audio with the caption, "Not Tamar calling the cast amateurs. Thoughts?" The Shade Room reshared Spice's fiery performance moment and paired it with the leaked group chat. Fans filled the comments with snake emojis, clown emojis, and gifs of Rasheeda rolling her eyes. Tamar's name wasn't trending for her music anymore, it was trending for betrayal. But the blowback didn't stop at the blogs. Industry insiders started distancing themselves. A popular Atlanta promoter announced that Tamar had been pulled from a showcase she was booked to host, citing creative differences, a cosmetics brand she had partnered with for a limited campaign quietly scrubbed her images from their website. Even worse, radio DJs who once hyped her up now roasted her live on air. One clip that went viral came from a local Atlanta morning show where the host joked, "How you gonna call Rasheeda irrelevant when her lipstick line sells more than your last album?" The studio erupted in laughter. Fans clipped the moment, and within hours, it became a meme. Meanwhile, Tamar's fellow celebrities weren't exactly running to defend her. In fact, the silence was deafening. Usually, Tamar's sisters would rally around her during controversies, but this time even they stayed quiet. That silence spoke volumes. Rumors swirled that behind the scenes, Tamar's family was tired of cleaning up her messes, and if Tamar thought Mona Scott would swoop in to save her, she was wrong. Insiders leaked that Mona was furious. The OG cast, Rasheeda, Yandy, Spice, had demanded an emergency sit-down with her. Their ultimatum was simple. It's her or us. If Mona sided with Tamar, she risked losing the backbone of her show. But if she sided with the OGs, Tamar's short-lived run would end in flames. And the headlines would be brutal. According to someone in production, the meeting was explosive. Rasheeda allegedly told Mona, "I've been here since day one. I bled for this show. And you expect me to sit back while she calls me irrelevant?" Yandy was in tears, saying, "This ain't just TV for me. This is my life." And she tried to erase it with a text. Spice, fiery as always, didn't hold back. Get rid of her. Period. Mona sat quietly, listening. But insiders claim she was already leaning toward the OGs. Tamar had brought attention to the show, sure, but the wrong kind of attention. And Mona, always calculating, knew the power of fan loyalty. The fans weren't riding for Tamar. They were siding with the women who had carried the kantam. As if I carried the kantop, meanwhile Tamar seemed oblivious. Instead of laying low, she doubled down. She posted a long caption on Instagram, calling herself a threat to the insecure and saying she was being punished for being too real. She even added, "Y'all mad because Tamar don't need love and hip-hop. Love and hip-hop needs Tamar." The comments shredded her. Girl, read the room. You exposed yourself. This ain't Braxton family values. This is a TL, we messy here. And while Tamar was busy fighting fans online, the cast was tightening their bond like never before. For once, Rasheeda, Yandy, and Spice were united. They started filming group scenes together without Tamar. They began posting selfies, tagging each other, laughing in comments. Fans dubbed them the Alliance of Queens, and the optics were clear. Tamar was the outsider. The turning point came when Mendices finally weighed in. He had been quiet up until now, but during a live taping, he broke his silence. Looking directly into the camera, he said, "There's a difference between being confident and being disrespectful. And when you disrespect my wife and the women who built this platform, you disrespect all of us." The crowd in the studio audience erupted. That clip aired and fans flooded Twitter. Game over. Tamar done. And then, as if things couldn't get worse, another leak hit the internet. This time, it wasn't about text messages or hot mic clips. It was a video. An unedited behind-the-scenes moment where Tamar was caught storming off set, yelling at producers, "I told you I'm not filming with them. Y'all better figure it out because Tamar Braxton don't do ensemble." That video was the nail in the coffin. It wasn't just gossip anymore, it was proof. Proof that Tamar saw herself above the cast, above the show. Above the culture that had built love and hip-hop. Fans rallied harder behind the OGs. Memes painted Tamar as the diva gone wrong while Rasheeda's old quote, "Some folks think they bigger than the culture," resurfaced as prophecy. By the end of that week, Tamar's image was in shambles. Deals drying up. Cast united against her. Mona silent. The industry backing away. But the craziest part? Tamar wasn't done fighting because behind closed doors she was preparing a bombshell of her own. Something she claimed would expose the entire cast as hypocrites. Something that could flip the script once again. And if she dropped it, the fallout wouldn't just destroy her castmates, it could destroy the entire franchise. When Tamar said she wasn't finished, people thought it was just empty bravado. The blogs had buried her. The cast had united against her. And Mona Scott was allegedly leaning toward showing her the door. But if there's one thing Tamar Braxton has always known how to do, it's flip the script. And that's exactly what she tried to do. Late on a Friday night, Tamar went live. No glam squad, no background music, just Tamar in a hoodie, sitting in her living room, eyes blazing with fury. "Y'all been running your mouths for weeks," she began, her voice trembling with controlled rage. "Talking about Tamar this, Tamar that. But baby, let me show y'all the real receipts." And with that, she pulled out her phone. The first receipt she dropped was a series of alleged text exchanges between Rasheeda and a producer. In the screenshots, Rasheeda appeared to be complaining about Spice, saying her accent too heavy, people don't connect. Cut her scenes short, fans gasped. Tamar scrolled, showing another message. Yandy crying again? Boring. We need fresh faces. The comments section exploded. WAITTT. So Rasheeda been shady behind the scenes too. Not her dragging Spice and Yandy. Tamar wasn't done. She dropped what she claimed was an audio clip of Yandy venting to a producer about Mona. In the muffled recording, a woman's voice could be heard saying, "Mona don't care about us. She just wants the drama. I'm sick of being edited like a victim." Tamar leaned into the camera, smirking. "See, y'all worship these women, but they've been just as messy as me. Difference is, I don't fake it." The live skyrocketed to over 150,000 viewers. Tamar's fans cheered her on, finally feeling vindicated. But the backlash was instant too. Rasheeda quickly denied the texts, tweeting, "Screenshots can be faked. Y'all know better than to believe that. Spice posted a fiery Instagram story. Baby girl, you reaching. Don't bring my name up unless you want me to finish what you started. And Yandy. She went silent, which only fueled speculation. The blogs pounced. Hollywood Unlocked headlined, Tamar Braxton strikes back. Are Rasheeda and Yandy fake too? The Shade Room ran a poll. Whose receipts y'all believe, Tamar's or the OG's? Fans were split. For the first time since the scandal began, Tamar had shifted the narrative. But it wasn't just about receipts anymore. Tamar had managed to do what she does best, so chaos. Suddenly, the alliance between Rasheeda, Yandy, and Spice started to crack. Fans began digging into old episodes, resurfacing moments where Rasheeda shaded Spice's music or where Yandy seemed frustrated with Mona's edits. Clips flooded TikTok with captions like, "Was Tamar telling the truth all along?" Behind the scenes, Mona was reportedly livid. According to one insider, Tamar had violated a non-disclosure agreement by leaking production materials. She crossed a line, the insider said. But the problem is, she did it so publicly that now the network has to choose between disciplining her or riding the wave of drama. Meanwhile, Kirk Frost added gasoline to the fire. Out of nowhere, he popped up on IG Live and sided with Tamar. "I've been telling y'all, this show ain't what it looks like." Tamar just pulled the curtain back. Rasheeda ain't innocent. None of them are. Y'all just mad. Tamar said it out loud. Fans couldn't believe it. Kirk publicly shading his own wife for Tamar. The betrayal was messy enough to set the internet ablaze. Rasheeda clapped back immediately, posting a photo of herself sipping wine with the caption, "I don't argue with clowns. I let the truth do the talking." Spice reposted it with laughing emojis, clearly backing Rasheeda. But the damage had been done. Tamar had successfully planted seeds of doubt, and fans were eating it up. The chaos reached a fever pitch when Tamar teased one last nuclear receipt. She claimed to have an unedited clip of Mona Scott herself admitting to scripting scenes and manipulating storylines to pit women against each other. Tamar smirked as she held up a flash drive on camera. "This right here. This is the bomb y'all been waiting for. If they keep playing with me, I'll drop it. And when I do, love and hip-hop will never be the same again." That one move sent the entire industry into panic. Mona allegedly held emergency calls with the network, trying to figure out how to contain the threat. OG cast members scrambled to defend themselves online. Fans speculated nonstop. Was Tamar bluffing? Did she really have the tapes? Or was this just another desperate stunt to keep herself relevant? Either way, Tamar had shifted the balance of power. She wasn't just the villain anymore, she was the wild card. And as the weekend ended, one thing was certain. The war between Tamar and the cast had only just begun by the time Tamar waved that flash drive on Instagram Live. The love and hip-hop universe was in total chaos. Fans didn't know what to believe anymore. Was Tamar exposing the truth? Or was she pulling every trick in the book to stay relevant? The lines between reality and manipulation blurred. And that's exactly what made the drama so intoxicating. But behind the scenes, panic set in. Mona Scott had spent over a decade building love and hip-hop into a dynasty. Now, one cast member in just a few weeks threatened to unravel it all. Tamar wasn't just fighting Rasheeda or Yandy anymore. She was swinging at the franchise itself. And Mona couldn't ignore it any longer. Insiders say Mona immediately called an emergency meeting with her producers. One source described the mood as DEFCON level. The fear wasn't just Tamar's behavior. It was that she might actually have something damaging on that flash drive. If unedited clips of Mona admitting to scripting and manipulation ever leaked, it wouldn't just humiliate her. It could expose contracts, trigger lawsuits, and potentially kill the entire franchise. So Mona did what she always does best. Schnetzed. RATEGIZED. Her first move was reaching out to Rasheeda, Yandy, and Spice. According to insiders, Mona told them point blank, "We either take her down together, or she takes us all down alone." The women were exhausted, but they agreed. The OG alliance was back, this time not just against Tamar's shade, but against her threat to blow up the entire brand. Meanwhile, Tamar was reveling in the chaos. She posted cryptic messages on Instagram. "The truth don't need editing. Receipts loading." And a photo of herself holding a microphone with the caption, "Who's scared?" Her fans hyped her up, but the rest of the internet saw desperation. Sis is dangling receipts like a mixtape. One viral tweet mocked, "Drop it or shut up." But then Mona made her boldest move yet. During a cast filming session in Atlanta, Mona herself walked on set, something she rarely ever does. Cameras caught the moment. Tamar, sitting in full glam, smirked as Mona approached. Rasheeda folded her arms, Spice raised her eyebrow, and Yandy shifted uncomfortably in her seat. Mona didn't waste time. "You want to expose me?" Mona said, staring directly at Tamar. "Then do it. But understand something. When you go to war with me, you don't just go against it." The room fell silent. Tamar leaned back in her chair, unfazed. Empire or not, baby, the truth gone come out. Producers later described it as one of the tensest moments in love and hip-hop history. Security hovered nearby, crew members whispered nervously, and the OG cast watched in shock as Mona finally confronted the woman threatening to blow it all apart. And just when it seemed like the showdown might end in a stalemate, Spice jumped in. "Tamar, you talk about truth, but you been lying? If you've really got the footage, play it. Otherwise, stop wasting our time." The audience, both live and eventually online, erupted at Spice's clapback. But Tamar didn't press play. Not yet. Instead, she smiled and said, "Timing is everything. And trust me, when I drop it, none of y'all will ever look at Mona the same again." That moment became the cliffhanger of the mid-season trailer. VH1 wasted no time cutting it together. Tamar's smirk, Mona's glare, Spice's fiery clapback. The promo ended with the tagline, "This isn't just reality TV, this is war." Fans went wild. They really letting Tamar go head-to-head with Mona. Rasheeda, Yandy, Spice, and Mona versus Tamar. Iconic. If she really has the footage, this could end everything. Behind the scenes. Though Mona wasn't banking on waiting around. According to leaks, she began quietly consulting lawyers, preparing to hit Tamar with legal action if she actually released the footage. At the same time, she allegedly ordered producers to start digging into Tamar's own past, hoping to find dirt that could neutralize her threat. If she wants war, Mona reportedly told her team, "We'll bury her before she even uploads a clip." Meanwhile, Tamar was isolating herself more and more. Crew members noticed she stopped interacting with anyone outside her glam team. Other cast members avoided filming with her. Kirk Frost, still publicly siding with her, was rumored to be feeding her inside information about production meetings. That betrayal only deepened Rasheeda's rage. Fans speculated online that this was the couple's breaking point. But the scariest twist came when a mysterious leak hit the blogs. An anonymous account posted what appeared to be an email chain between Tamar and one of Mona's top producers. In it, Tamar allegedly asked for a $250,000 appearance fee to continue filming, threatening to go nuclear if her demands weren't met. Fans didn't know whether to believe it, but the narrative was shifting again. Was Tamar truly holding the franchise hostage? The OGs seized on it. Yandy tweeted, "Some of us built this brand because we loved it. Others just here for a paycheck." Spice reposted with fire emojis. Rasheeda went live, her tone cold but firm. "I've been loyal to this platform. I've been loyal to my cast. And I don't care what receipts Tamar thinks she got, loyalty gone." Outlast shade every single time. The war lines were drawn. Tamar with her flash drive, threats, and Kirk's support. Mona with her OG army lawyers and the entire franchise on the line. And fans. They weren't just watching anymore. They were choosing sides. Hashtag Team Tamar versus hashtag Team OGS became the hottest debate online. Blogs hosted live debates. Twitter Spaces ran all night. Everyone wanted to know, would Tamar actually drop the footage? Or would Mona crush her before she had the chance? One thing was clear, The season wasn't just about drama anymore. It had become survival. And as the finale loomed, Tamar's next move would either make her the ultimate whistleblower or the most hated villain in Love and Hip Hop history. By now. The Love and Hip Hop Atlanta set wasn't just tense, it was toxic. Cast members avoided Tamar. Mona's team worked overtime trying to contain leaks. And the internet was buzzing nonstop about the looming flash drive bombshell. Every fan wanted to know, would Tamar really risk it all and press play? Or was she bluffing her way into staying relevant? The answer came during what was supposed to be a routine reunion taping. Everyone was on edge. Rasheeda, Spice, and Yandy sat together, icy but united. Mendices kept glancing at the cameras, looking like he wanted nothing to do with what was coming. And Tamar. She walked in late, draped in designer, holding a tiny silver clutch that fans instantly speculated was hiding the flash drive. The host barely got through introductions before Tamar pounced. "Y'all been painting me as the villain all season," she snapped, her voice cutting through the room. "But villains don't tell the truth, villains hide it. And I'm done hiding." Gasps filled the studio. Rasheeda rolled her eyes. Spice muttered under her breath, and Yandy folded her arms. Mona, sitting just off stage, tensed. Everyone knew Tamar was about to go nuclear. Then, with cameras rolling, Tamar pulled the flash drive out of her clutch and held it high. "This right here. This is the footage they never wanted y'all to see. The receipts. The truth." The audience screamed. Producers panicked. Security shifted nervously. But before Tamar could even plug it in, Mona stormed the stage. For the second time in franchise history, the puppet master herself stepped into the spotlight. "You think you're bigger